welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm finally back with a sit down video. I think this is actually the first sit down video of the year, so happy new year, even though it's basically February as I'm filming this. We also realised that I've changed up my hair, so it's not in the same hairstyle that it was before, but you might see my hair changing in style across the next few videos as I figure out what I prefer. In today's video, I'm very excited to bring you the 4th episode of the Worth the Hype series. It's been a little while. I think we missed January's one, so now we're doing it this month, and this month I'm reviewing And Other Stories. I am so excited. I think out of all of the Worth the Hype episodes that I've done so far, this is probably the biggest one so far, because I just fell in love with so many pieces. My excuse for getting them was that I was going to be filming this video. Now, I have already featured some of these pieces over on Instagram and TikTok, which I'll leave on the screen now and in the description box of this video, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. Some of these pieces, not all of them, I'm looking at them. Well, some of them that are not in this box because there are that many. I feel like some of these pieces, you can wear it as party wear. So because of that, I've included it in loads of Valentine's Day outfits. Before we start, if you are new and you're not sure what the Worth the Hype series is, basically I'm reviewing some of my favorite brands and some of your favorite brands that are a little bit higher price point than your typical H&M and Zara. And as I mentioned in the first episode when I first started with Arket, so I think we've done now Arket, COS and Other Stories. But as I mentioned in that video, I'll start off with the high street brands, like, well, most of them I've done now, but COS, Arket, and Other Stories, Massimo Dutti, brands like that. And then if you enjoy those enough, which I feel like you guys are enjoying it, we'll move on to more premium brands like Theory, Totem, Frankie Shop, and obviously more brands. Let me know in the comment section any specifically that you want me to review. And then if you guys enjoy those, then we'll move on to your typical designer brands. Currently, I've been loving Hermes. If you guys enjoy those enough, then I'll move more into your super luxury brands like Loro Piana and Brunello Cucinelli, so the more quiet luxury side of things. But in this series, I'm basically picking up one piece from each category, so I'll pick up one shirt, one t-shirt. I did not do that for this video. I picked up like 3 shirts and 4 trousers, and that's also because I have also had pieces from And Other Stories before that I picked up last summer and in the autumn as well. So I do have pieces that I've had for longer that I also included in this video. I will make sure to link everything in the description box alongside the sizes that I got. If some of these pieces aren't in stock, because I know some of them aren't, I'll still link it down below. When it comes back in stock, hopefully you'll be able to actually click through those links and it'll take you straight to the pieces. But with that all being said, let's just jump straight into the video because I'm very excited for this and I don't know how long this video is going to be. Starting off with tops like I usually do, this is probably where I got the most pieces. I picked up quite a bit of knitwear, and you might spot that there's like 2 of one piece, and I'll get to that in a second. First top that I picked up is the black Bandeau Bustier, and this one was £55. I absolutely love this. You might not be able to see it clearly here, but I will put cutaway clips of this. I actually picked this up online, and as I was picking it up, it literally said that there was the last few items available. So when I picked this up, it was basically selling out. They only had, I think, a size extra small and then maybe like a medium, and I'm usually a size small, but I really fell in love with it and I knew I needed it, so I thought, let me get an extra small and see if I can get away with it. And I probably can. It's just the bust area. Even though the extra small fits me on, like, you know, the size of my body, I found that it can look a little bit like it digs in. Not immensely, but just a little bit, which is why obviously usually I'm a size small. But nonetheless, I do think I'm going to be keeping this. You guys will see in the cutaway clip. You can kind of get away with it. I just love this. It actually, I had some questions on how this stays up because I already featured this on Instagram. The structure of this top, it's got this ribbing material, but it's quite a tight ribbing. I don't like when things are loosely ribbed. You can easily make them look cheaper, so I prefer when the ribbing looks structured. It's kind of got like, and again, you guys will see close-ups on the screen, but the ribbing design changes a little bit on the bust area, just to kind of bring that out a little bit more. And then the sides of these have some wiring, so almost the same wiring that you have as like underwires for your bra. So this really hugs your body. I love the shape of this, and I've gotten so many comments of people saying how this definitely like brings out my figure. The only thing I will say about this is that with the wire, sometimes, and I don't know why it does this, if anyone knows why and like how to fix it, do let me know, but sometimes the wire doesn't sculpt inwards, it sculpts outwards, so it kind of like protrudes, and I have to fix it and bend it a bit more. If anyone knows if that does that long term, do let me know. Yeah, I absolutely love this. There's not much to say about it, and again, I don't want this video to be extremely long because I did pick up quite a few things, but this is just perfect. You guys will see the cutaway clip. I don't really have anything to say about this that's bad. I have actually been wearing this and I just absolutely love it. Again, the only thing I would say about this is over your usual size. Next up, I picked up these shirts. Now these are the same, as you can probably tell. I'll get to why in a second, but I actually featured these on TikTok. You might have seen it. Actually, I also posted it as a YouTube short. It's actually sold out as of right now, kind of similar to the Bandeau Bustier. I will put it in the description box and I'm sure it will come back in stock. I'll put the name of this on the screen because I can't actually remember. I think it was like the Sculpted waist shoulder top or something, but this one was £95. Now the reason I have two, and it's in this beige taupey color, which I absolutely love, and you'll be able to see how I styled it. I got this one in a size 34. Now the reason I have two is basically because I popped into store and I got one in a size 36 because that's my usual size, you know, like a size 8. And then I styled it. This was the one I styled on my TikTok and the YouTube shorts and everything. And basically the way I was styling it with shorts and leaving it unbuttoned at the top and bottom and only buttoning one of the buttons meant that the back looked quite baggy, but obviously you couldn't see the back in the video. I knew that I wanted to keep this so that I could wear it in the spring summer months, so I picked up a size 34. So hopefully that makes sense. This one is going back, but I'm definitely keeping the 34. I just love how this sculpts in at the waist. I would say by sizing down, it actually didn't compromise on sleeve length. I have really long arms, so the thing is, the reason I don't size down in tops, especially ones that have sleeves, is because my arms are long. But typically what happens when I size down is that the sleeves end up being shorter. It was actually really funny because when I got the 34, I thought I was trying on the 36, except the back actually fit me much better. It wasn't baggy at the back. You'll actually see the close-ups of what I mean, the difference between the back of the 34 and the 36. This composition wise, because it does say responsible wool on here, this one is 51% wool, 46% polyester and 3% spandex. So it is wool, which means it's going to keep you warm. So the way I styled it over on Instagram and TikTok is that I styled it with some Marquette shorts that I loved last summer, and I styled it with my Oran sandals. And even though that might feel like it'll be chilly, because this has wool in it, it will actually keep me warm on the top half, but not too warm. I do love spring summer fashion. In next week's video, I'll actually be filming a haul of all the new pieces in my closet. You'll actually see that a lot of them are spring summer pieces, but no, I absolutely love this. And again, when I was in store, it was so weird because I tried it on. Usually when I try things on, if you guys know me, when I shop things, it has to go with at least 5 things that I already own in my closet. With this, I tried it on and I couldn't exactly pinpoint exactly how I was going to style it. I just knew I needed it for some reason, which doesn't usually happen. I think it's also because it really gave me, and someone also commented that very much is giving sort of like a Jacquemus vibe, which I completely agree with. So yeah, it is £95 for a shirt, but again, it looks way more than that because it gives that Jacquemus vibe. Again, I have nothing to fault with this except for the fact that probably size down, because otherwise you're not going to like it. Next up, I picked up this silk shirt. This one was £95. Now I will check the composition, but this says that it's organic silk and I believe it's 100% silk. Yeah, so on the tag it says that it's 100% silk. So when I saw that it was £95, again, a lot of the tops that I got from OtherStories were in the £60 to £95 range, which I then was like, okay, this is the typical price range. But again, this is a silk shirt. I absolutely love this. To be honest, I'm absolutely loving this cream tone, and I picked up a few more pieces in this tone. Again, you'll see in my next video how many cream pieces I've picked up, because I found it really hard to find something of this exact shade. There's a lot of cream tones out there. You've got some that are a little bit more peachy pink tone. You've got some that are more gold tone or golden tone, which I find it to be a little bit too warm for my liking. I prefer something that's a little bit more of that buttery cream color, but not too yellow, because I've seen some that are like buttermilk color, which I don't like, but I do like this. It's a very almost like ivory cream tone, which I love, and it just feels so buttery soft. I wish you guys could feel this. If you ever see this in store, go and feel it, because it just feels incredible. Some pros and cons of this. First of all, I absolutely love this and the tone of it, and I think it's perfect. The only thing I would say about this is 2 things. First is figuring out when you can wear this. I was talking to my friend the other day as well, where I was trying to figure out when can you really wear silk on top, especially because if it's too hot, you're going to be sweaty, you're not going to be wearing this. And if it's too cold, then this isn't going to be something that's going to provide you a lot of warmth. So that's the only thing I found, is figuring out when I can actually wear this. And by the way, I got this in a Europe 36, which I believe is a size 8 if I'm not wrong. So this fit perfectly, my usual size. So again, it was just with that top that I sized down. Also, the second point that I was going to say is that it's a little bit see-through. I think that's to be expected with silk, especially of this colour. I actually styled this with the Arquette shorts that I have from last summer. Because it's denim, the colour is more of a block colour rather than it being slightly translucent. So it can look a little bit funny because this is slightly translucent and then the shorts aren't. But nonetheless, I still love this. I'm still figuring out whether or not I want to keep this because there's a shirt at the moment that I'm loving from Loewe. But I've just found out that it's now basically sold out everywhere in my size. But that shirt I think retails for £895. So when I saw this, I was like, wow, if I get this, then I won't need to get that. That's not exactly what happened. I just think that shirt is really unique in so many ways. But nonetheless, this, if you're looking for something of a cream tone for springtime, I think this is perfect. I did try to do this without a bra underneath, but it's just way too see-through. You can literally see everything, well, almost everything. Another thing to mention is that this actually has double buttons. So how the buttons are located is quite unique here. You've got 2 buttons at a time, and then you've got a gap, and then 2 buttons, and then a gap, which I thought was really unique. And to be honest, it's actually perfect because if you're like me, whenever I get tops that have buttons that go all the way up, I usually like to wear things V-neck, so I unbutton things. The look when I style it as a V-neck, because there's not that many buttons, it doesn't look too smart, so it gives that casual look to it. Staying on the topic of tops, I picked up some knitwear pieces as well. I also picked up things like blazers, but I'll get to that in a second. I say blazers, I picked up one blazer. But for knitwear pieces, so I picked up this cardigan. To be honest, the reason I picked this up is because of one major reason, which is that when I saw it online, I was really hoping that it could be a dupe for the Kate cardigan. To be honest, I have found several dupes for the Kate cardigan, which I will feature in next week's video because those are new in pieces that I've picked up over the last month or two. It kind of gave off the same vibes. It did also say on the website, to be honest, that it was an oversized cardigan, so I knew already that it wasn't going to have sculpted cinched in waist that the Kate cardigan has. However, if you're currently looking for a dupe for the Kate cardigan but you don't mind it being slightly different, or you don't even want it to look exactly like the Kate cardigan, you just want something that looks like it, this is perfect because it has slightly, again I'll put the close-ups of this on the screen, but it has slightly dumbbelled sleeves, and then you've got the V-neck and the 3 buttons. Again, the only thing about this is that it's oversized. Now, I picked this up in a size small, and this was £95. Again, I'll leave the name of some of these on the screen because I don't have the name for all of these. I absolutely love this so much. The only thing I'll say about this is that it is itchy. I have found a Kate cardigan dupe from Axel Arigato. You guys have probably seen it because I posted it on TikTok and Instagram and even on here as YouTube shorts. That one is not itchy. I believe that one is 100% lambswool, if I'm not wrong. This one is 40% wool, 35% polyamide and 25% alpaca, and it is itchy. I think if you wear this with an undergarment, which is a V-neck, so maybe like a base layer that's a V-neck, that could work really well. But one thing I will say about this is that it feels very well made alongside all the pieces. I didn't really mention this, but again, everything feels really well made. And to be honest, after my experience with OtherStories from last summer, I expected the pieces to feel well made and, you know, heavy duty, heavyweight. This one is still heavyweight, but acceptable. It doesn't feel like it's actually pulling you down. I just think this would be perfect in the springtime, even though it is wool. I think it would be perfect in the springtime with some cream jeans and Oran sandals in gold. I keep saying that. It can be any sandals that are sort of that brown tan colour. I absolutely love this, but I don't know if I'm going to be keeping it because I actually ordered another dupe from Jenny Kane. That one was about 3 times the price of this, and because I already paid for it and that one I can't return, I don't want to keep this one as well, but it is slightly different. The one I got from Jenny Kane is not V-neck. No, I really love this. Again, it's just the fact it's itchy, and I don't know if that's something that I can get over because I need my pieces to feel good on me. I don't think it's anything like major, like it's not majorly itchy, but it is itchy. Now, another piece of knitwear that I picked up is actually a huge dupe. I feel like I've now mentioned quite a few dupes. It's not really a dupe because I don't think they actually make a shirt exactly like that, but it gives off similar vibes. Now we have this, which is very much a totem vibe. So this is the oversized wool knit turtleneck in the cream color. This is incredible. For this, I picked it up in a size small. I probably should have taken note that it's already listed as oversized, so I probably should have sized down to an extra small. This one was £95. Again, same price as the cardigan. I absolutely love this. It's so incredible. From what I remember when I tried it on a few days ago, it was not itchy. This is the back. The back has this exposed seam design going through the back. You have this slit at the back to allow for ventilation, because this is quite a heavyweight chunky knit. Definitely will keep you very warm. It's more of like that wider design of sleeves. I did find that I ended up rolling this. I mean, it is a turtleneck anyway, so you would roll the neck, but sometimes with turtlenecks I do like to keep them up, but this one kind of just cut off my jawline and just looked weird. Composition of this: 55% wool, 42% cotton, 2% polyester and 1% elastane. So that wool is definitely in there, but I don't think it's the itchy type. But no, this is incredible, and I've just spoken about with the shirt how I've absolutely been loving this tone of cream. It's that ivory cream tone that I love. It's not too yellow toned, it's not pink toned at all really. As I said, I find that usually with yellow toned cream, sometimes it can look too much like a pastel yellow, which I don't like. I like this. I think the thing that makes this look a lot more premium and gives off that totem vibe is the hemming at the bottom, or the trim at the bottom. It rises up quite high, and if you've ever seen totem pieces of knitwear, this is very much like their signature thing that they do. This definitely looks a lot more premium than it actually was. I mean, again, it was still £95, but compared to the price of a totem piece of knitwear, it's definitely less. There's nothing bad for me to say about this other than the fact that it's probably cream and high maintenance, and so if you wear makeup, be careful with this. I mean, I'm wearing makeup right now, and I am going to be careful when filming the try on bit of this video. One thing you can do is to just get something that can go over your head. I usually use like a silk pillowcase that I no longer use. Put it over my head and just put this on, and that way you don't get makeup on the neck portion of this. Now, not surprisingly, we have something else that has cream in it, but this actually is striped, and this is the last piece of knitwear that I actually got. This is the very typical V-neck collar, but I thought, you know what, I need to get it because I've seen this so many times and I've always sort of just ignored it because I've seen everybody wearing it. But I thought, let me just try it. Let's see if it's actually worth the hype. And this is actually cream, and then it's got navy blue stripes, which on camera might appear like black stripes, but it's actually navy blue. This one I got in a size small, and this one was £65. I absolutely love this. I would say the only thing I don't like about this particular knit, the sleeves where it gets the wrist is cuffed in, and it's nice, but I don't know how I feel about the almost balloon-like. It isn't very balloon-like though, I will say. Even though when it's not on, it looks like it would be very exaggerated on the wrist, and then that sort of balloon on the wrist. It actually doesn't do that too much when you're wearing it. So I actually really like this. I think it's one of those pieces that screams spring and also autumn. I feel like you can throw that on in those seasons. It automatically makes your outfits look like they're the perfect spring or autumn outfit because of the stripes. I also really love the neck detail. I think this would also look amazing if it was one color. So if this was black completely, or if this was cream completely, I think this would look very, very high end. Again, just your typical sweater, jumper, but I actually really love it because it does, I think the collar detail, the V-neck, the stripes just make it look super smart. The next thing that I picked up is a blazer, and then I've got a coat, and then we can move on to the bottoms. As you guys know, it's basically tradition. Now, you guys might remember that in basically all of my Love the Hype series episodes, I would always get a simple black tee. Now, and OtherStories actually does make one, but I don't know why when I went in store, it didn't really catch my eye because I've already reviewed the Arquette one and the COS one and the Massimo Dutti one. And I probably should have gotten it just to continue the tradition, but I didn't because I picked up so many tops that I just thought, you know what, let me just skip that because I picked up so many tops that I feel like it's going to fill the video. But one thing I did do, which carries on the tradition, is an oversized blazer. You guys know I've picked this up. I think in my Massimo Dutti one, it was actually more of a tuxedo style blazer, but this one is an actual oversized wool blazer. I got this one in a size Europe 36, which I believe is a size 8. And this one was £165. I also love that they have prices on these. It makes these videos so much easier. This is nice. If you guys know, I'm still on the hunt for the perfect black blazer. The one from Massimo Dutti did take my heart, but not for everyday use. So not like a typical wool blazer. That one was more of a satin finish, so it's not for everyday use, it's more so for party wear. I'm still wearing it, I'm still loving it, but I definitely am still on the hunt for the perfect day-to-day, everyday wool blazer. This still isn't it. I feel like it's very typical at this point. I feel like this is very similar to the other, so the COS blazer that I picked up and the Arquette blazer that I picked up. These are all looking a little bit the same, which I don't mind, but what I would say is pick your favorite store and then just get the blazer from there. And I think I said that in the COS video. They don't have much difference to them. So what I would say is, if you prefer OtherStories sizing and it looks really flattering on you, go for blazers from that store, because there isn't going to be much of a difference in design, especially because this is called the Oversized wool blazer. The one from Arquette I believe is also called the Oversized wool blazer. The one from COS I think is also called the Oversized wool blazer. Obviously they make other black blazers which aren't the same in every store, but for this exact specific type, they pretty much look the same, so just go for your favorite store. Again, it feels really well made. They definitely haven't compromised on the quality. It feels like OtherStories quality. I think if you get one from Arquette, it will feel like Arquette quality. The one from COS. No, I really love this. I'm just not going to be keeping it because I already have an oversized black blazer that I like, and so I don't really feel like I need to collect okay oversized blazers. And again, this is incredible, especially if you're on a hunt for a wool blazer. This is fab, but because I already have one and it's the one that I use all the time, I want something a little bit different, a little bit special. These ones aren't screaming that to me, but they are still incredible blazers. Again, really great with the inside pocket. Again, really love this. Nothing entirely special compared to the other blazers from the other high street stores. So with regards to the composition, if I can find it, so I actually can't find the composition of this inside the blazer. I'm sure it's somewhere, but I can't really find it, but I will put it on the screen. I'm sure it's just wool on the outside and then the inside is lined, which I actually really like, because I feel like if it was this wool on the inside, it would be a little bit uncomfortable. Lastly, in the top portion of this video, I picked up a coat. This is a little bit outside of my comfort zone with regards to color. Usually I go for black or a really dark color, but this time I decided to pick up this grey one because, to be honest, it's the only one that they had in store that I liked. But this one was £205. This is in this grey color. Now, to be honest, when I saw this, the plan that I had immediately was to style it with what I'm wearing right now. I have it linked in the description box, but it's literally just a turtleneck from COS and my trousers from COS and my Celine belt. But I thought, how incredible would this look as a monochrome outfit? I won't be keeping it, I don't think, just because I don't know how much use I'll get out of it other than with this one outfit, and that's not how I buy things. It is Manteco wool, as it says on the tag. They are always very incredible quality. I got this in a size Europe small, which I think is perfect. This one is actually double-breasted in the sense that it has a button here that connects to this buttonhole, and then you've got the 3 buttons. So it's got buttons on 2 sides that go across, and that makes it a lot wider, which I like. You might remember from episode 2, which was COS Worth the Hype, I picked up a navy blue trench coat. I won't lie, I haven't gotten that much use out of it. And when I was trying to figure out why, and I did mention in that video that it was quite slim fitting on my body, and so I never really found a use for it because I like things to feel just a little bit more oversized. With that one, it's single-breasted. That's why I haven't worn it as much. I do prefer, especially trench coats, wool coats, I prefer for it to be double-breasted. So I really like this. It feels very heavyweight and it is belted. I don't know if I've shown you. I just feel like it's going to be a piece that I'll literally only wear once and then never again. But if you're into grey coats, this is incredible quality and it feels very heavyweight, which is why I want to put it down now and move on to the next piece. So that is all of the top half of things done. Now moving on to trousers, we have less of that. So that's good because I definitely picked up quite a few tops. First thing that I have, I will put the name and the price on the screen because this is a pair of linen shorts that I actually picked up last summer. And because of that, I think I remember it being maybe £56, something like that. And I got this in a size EU32. I absolutely love this. I still find myself tying it at the back with a ribbon, but only very slightly because I really like things to be cinched in. So even though it does fit me very well, I still like it to be a little bit more cinched in. I think this was probably one of the best investments I made last year. When I say investments, I just mean in terms of my wardrobe. I loved it so much. So many of you loved it. I created so much content with it. Of course, it's linen, so it will crease, but it is more, again, with all these And Other Stories pieces, it always feels double lined. As in, like, it always feels heavy duty. This one is actually lined, which is really nice because with linen shorts, especially being white, they can be see-through. This one, I'm not going to say that it's completely not because I'm putting my hand through it and it's not completely opaque because it's linen, but it is lined. That is quite nice, and it also means that it's a little bit warmer. Linen is quite breathable. When I compare it to my other bits of linen, this one feels a little bit more formal. And actually I remember last summer when I would separate my linen pieces, this one I would always consider my formal pair of linen shorts, and the other ones would be more slouchy or something like that. I think because it has the belt loops, which I love. Last summer I didn't have a Celine Triumph belt. I'm very excited to try that this summer. You've got a button, so it does definitely feel smarter, and then you've got the fabric sort of like bunching up. And there is a better name for that, but I can't remember right now. One of the things I also like about it is that it's not like a brilliant white, although every time I say that on camera, it sometimes looks very brilliant white. It's not. It's actually a very slightly off-white white, which actually makes it look, again, a much smarter and also more premium. When it's that very brilliant, bright white, it can look a little bit less premium. The next thing that I picked up are a pair of trousers. Now, I actually picked up 2 black tailored trousers. This one is a little bit different in the sense that it doesn't have the belt loop. It's actually an elasticated waist, which I always have to be a little bit careful with because, as you know, especially because this is high-waisted, my high waist is quite small, and so most things don't fit. So I usually get belt loop and then I'll tie it or I'll get it tailored. But this one is in an EU32 and it fits me to perfection. I absolutely love this. This one is called the wide leg tailored trousers, and this one was £65. This is incredible. This one actually has pleating, but it's not pleating. I can't remember the name of it, but it's permanently there. So it will always look pleated and you don't have to get it re-pleated. Essentially, for example, these COS ones, when they came, they were pleated, and then you have to be very careful, especially if you are steaming or ironing your own clothes. You have to be careful to not remove the pleat. Whereas with this, you don't have to do that. Now, I won't lie, it doesn't look the most premium when it's permanently in there, but nonetheless, I love these trousers. It fits me so well at the back. I actually posted a reels and on TikTok as well, and people also went nuts over these. It's got faux pockets at the back. There isn't really much to say about this other than the fact that I love it. And then it's wide leg at the bottom, which you guys will see in the try on clip. I don't know how well you guys can see this anyways. I actually styled it as well with the Bandeau Bustier top. It looked like a jumpsuit, so I really love that. And then I picked up another pair of trousers because I wanted to find something that had belt loops, just in case, for example, you wanted to style it with the blazer. This one is actually called the mid-waist straight leg trousers, and this one is £95. So it's more than the other one that I've just featured. So this one is obviously more than this one, but actually when I have a look, the composition is different, and I forgot to mention, but the composition of the one with the elasticated waist is 58% viscose, 36% polyamide and 6% elastane, whereas these trousers are 48% wool, 48% polyester and 4% spandex. So because of that, obviously wool will come with a more premium price. I really like these, they were really nice, but because I already have my theory trousers, I don't find the need to keep these. But I think if you're looking for a pair of black tailored smart trousers with belt loops so that you can wear it with a belt, these are perfect. It's just the fact that I already have some that I like more than these. So when I explain this, it'll probably make it sound like this is not much, but this is actually incredible. Like if this was my first pair of black tailored trousers, I would be very excited, but because of the fact that I already found some that I love more, it's still exciting, but not as exciting. Now, one thing to mention is that these, in terms of length, I actually remember, I think where they fell a little bit more cropped. They're not as long on the legs as the other trousers were, which I prefer because when things are longer on the legs, they accentuate my longer legs. And I do have, but some trousers don't accentuate it. But no, I really love these. I would highly recommend, and I'll show you how I styled it also with the black blazer because I think it could look really good as a set. Moving on to the last pair of trousers before I move on to accessories, which is a bag and a pair of shoes, I actually picked up the most incredible pair of jeans. If you guys have watched, I think it was actually last week's video, you guys might have spotted that I had some jeans very similar to this from Naked Fashion. Those jeans, every time I feature it on a video, people ask me where it's from, and it is from Naked Fashion. I actually remember checking, and I think that I couldn't find that colour anymore. I'm not completely sure of that, if I'm making that up. These are the high waist flare leg comfort stretch, that's what it just says here, jeans. The actual name for them I have in front of me. Flared high waist jeans. And I'm going to be very careful to not get this near the sofa because it's cream and blue, and cream are not a good mix. It has these pockets. This fits so well. When I tried it on this morning, it had the tiniest bit of gaping at the back, but I don't know if that's because of how I just quickly rushed, tried it on and then packed it in. This is in Europe 24, which is, I believe, their smallest size, and I just love these. I have no words for these. I think the only thing maybe I would go for something a little bit less vibrant. I already have something of this blue, so I'm not going to be keeping this. I might pick up something in a different colour that they have. I think they had black, cream, they had a lighter blue, they have different washes of blue. This one I believe is in the dark blue, and this pair of jeans, £75, and they are 79% organic cotton, 20% recycled cotton, and 1% recycled elastane. But no, I really love these a lot, and for the price, I do think it reflects the price quite well, considering the price of jeans anyways. I would just say if you have a lot of cream interior, or if you have a cream interior car, I don't know how much of a good decision this is, but I think that's with any pair of blue jeans. This one actually does have some contrast stitching, but it's not major. You probably can't even tell from the camera. It has this mustard yellow stitching, which I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's not exactly my style, but when you're wearing this, you really can't tell. Other than that, this fits me so well. Hugs the bottom really well, does everything that you would want it to do. Now, to end off this video, I picked up some accessories. So I picked up a bag and a pair of shoes. I'll start with the bag. So you might remember, if you've watched my Arquette Worth the Hype, and I actually have the bag with me as I always do because I'm always using that bag, and I'll compare what fits in this versus the Arquette one in a second. But OtherStories came out with a bag, and it looks very similar to the bag that I had picked up from Arquette. So this is the double strap leather bucket bag, if I'm not wrong, and the price of this, £125. Now, I'm going to take out all of the things on the inside. To be honest, this really reminds me of my Arquette bag, which, by the way, I still have that bag, but the other day I popped into Arquette and they actually changed the colour of the bag a little bit. It's a little bit now warmer, and the seaming on it is a little bit different. This one has the divider. You guys are going to see close-ups on the screen. It has this divider in the middle, which is made of this black leather, and this is real leather, which also explains the price. The only thing I don't like about this bag is that it's got, and I already knew it was going to have this, but it's black and cream, so I don't like that because I feel like it looks cheaper, in my opinion. I think if it was entirely black, maybe if it had a darker contrast, I would like it better, but I just didn't like that it was black and cream. Nonetheless, I do like this bag. It has a magnetic closure. It has this strip which has a magnetic closure to the rest of the bag, and then at the very back of the bag you have a zip compartment. So it has all the features of the Arquette bag, except with the Arquette bag, which I'm going to go and get in a second. The middle compartment, that is the divider, is also the pocket. I will show you what fits in this versus the Arquette, but already having worn this out, this definitely fits less than the Arquette one, just a little bit less, because I think it's a little bit more slim, I would say. So I've just gone along and popped to get my Arquette bag, and everyone literally laughs at the fact that this bag is never closed when I'm carrying it. As you can see, it's literally overflowing. So some of the key differences is that the strap on the Arquette one is thicker than the one from OtherStories. Obviously the colour is different, but also if you can see with the Arquette one, the strap, it's brown on both sides, which I think looks a lot more premium. Inside of the bag does have a contrast and it's black, but the thing is that doesn't actually look bad on this bag, whereas here it just looks funny to me. I will leave the difference between the price of the Arquette and the OtherStories one. As I said, they did changed the brown bag, so it's no longer this amazing brown color. And this one has the buckle detail on the sides, which to be honest, I don't think I mind the fact that this one doesn't. This one has more of this design feature, which it still is the strap, but this one isn't an adjustable. The buckle detailing on the Arquette bag is not random, it's actually an adjustable strap. You just have to undo the buckle, and it has, I think, 3 different settings. In terms of what fits, so I'm just gonna transfer over everything. To be honest, this isn't very fair because this is barely even fitting in the Arquette one. So I'm gonna remove this little pouch and I'm just gonna leave this. So I'm gonna try and see what fits in the And Other Stories bag. I'm carrying my umbrella because living in London, it's a must. The umbrella, see on the Arquette bag, the umbrella actually sits all the way down at the bottom of the bag, but I think it's because this bag being a bucket bag, it's more like this shape, maybe even this shape, which means that the bottom will be narrower, whereas the Arquette bag is probably more of a slightly trapeze shape, so it's actually like this. So the bottom, I mean, to be honest, I prefer it in the Arquette one, to be honest. So it sits all the way in the Arquette one, and it doesn't sit all the way in the And Other Stories bag. It slants slightly, which actually means that it takes up more space in this bag. Now I'm gonna go in with my wallet, which I have in the front compartment of my Arquette bag. This one actually does fit all the way, and it does just slot really nicely in there. And then in the Arquette one, the same compartment where I had my umbrella. So because the umbrella was all the way sitting at the bottom, I could basically pile on top of the umbrella. Here I can't really because the umbrella is taking up too much space, but I can kind of fit it in there decently. And to be honest, that's pretty much everything I have in my Arquette bag, and it did fit, but as I said, like the umbrella, like the width of the bag is different, but for the most part, as I said also in the beginning, it's not noticeable enough. It's like you might not be able to carry one thing that you would usually carry, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. It's still really nice. I think the weight transfer is the same in terms of the fact that this now feels a little bit heavy, just as the Arquette one did before. I like the fact that I can use these two as a comparison, but Arquette does make one of these in black, so if you want something exactly like the Arquette one, you can just go for the black one. But if you want something with the cream contrast, then go ahead and go for the And Other Stories. They both feel very well made. Obviously they are 2 different bags, very similar, but they're still different in many ways. But nonetheless, I like the fact that, for example, this one still has a zippy pocket, the middle compartment that splits it, so it gives off the same vibe as the Arquette one. Lastly, I picked up a pair of shoes. Now these I actually picked up a while back. You might have spotted them in the autumn haul video that I did. These are the Equestrian buckle loafers, and these ones are actually £95, but I'm pretty sure I didn't pay that much for them. I think I ended up paying something like £65. Typically, And Other Stories has quite a few discount codes. I have my extension on my browser if there's any discount code. But nonetheless, I absolutely love these. They definitely give off looks of the Gucci horsebit loafers, and I absolutely love it. They definitely look more premium than they cost. The only thing I would say about this is that I'm pretty sure this is leather, but the leather at the front has actually scratched off. And that honestly is not the fault of the shoe, because the right one does not have that. I was shooting content with these and I wasn't really paying attention, and it scratched on the front, and I think that might have happened around 2 times. So because of that, it has sort of scratched at the front, which definitely makes them look less premium. The only other thing, I got these in a Europe 39, which is a UK 6, which is my usual size, but they can feel less secure. They feel like they're flip-flopping off my feet, especially when I first got them. So I can actually see in here, I've stuffed some cotton pads just at the front just to fill in a little bit of a gap. Other than that, I think these are a very smart pair of shoes, and I like that the hardware isn't a very yellow gold. With these, they are a lighter yellow gold, which I like because again, it just looks a little bit more understated and thus, you know, premium. Other than that, I really love these. They're not my go-to everyday shoes, but they definitely are shoes that you can pop on, and they're super smart, and I wore them pretty much all autumn long. And just like that, we've come to the end of the 4th episode of the Worth the Hype series. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below what your favourite piece in this was. I think for me it has to be the taupe button up. To be honest, all the tops, which is why I picked up quite a few. Don't forget to comment down below any brands as well that you want me to review. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the post notification bell. There are videos coming out every single week, and in between that there are some YouTube shorts coming out as well. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys very, very soon in my next video.